Hey, I'm Randy with Florida's Big Fish Show, and today we're here at Brooker's Bait and Tackle down here in Leesburg, 8th anniversary party. You can hear the music in the background. We got all kinds of vendors out here, from rods and reels, bait and tackle. We got barbecue out here, is awesome, and of course we have Tim Frederick, a local professional, an FLW tour right here in Lake County. Hey, welcome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's good to be here.
Well, we're wrapped up the FLW season for 2018. Give me a little bit about your experience this year.
I experienced the highest of highs and the lowest of lows this year. So even though I won a tournament, which is amazing, you know, and you know, still pinch me, you know.
Sure, congratulations.
That type of moment. But I also finished low in a bunch of them that I got a lot of room for improvement. It seemed like the whole central part of the schedule was spotted bass, and that's a species of bass I'm not real familiar with, so it's a learning process for me. But this year the schedule looks good. It's all largemouth and smallmouth. My boys over here messing with it.
Oh, kids are good for that.
Yeah, they are.
Dad can't do too much. He's on the camera right now.
Great people, you know, some of my teammates actually.
There you go.
You know, and this year I'm really looking forward to. We start off in Texas.
Right.
And we come straight back to Florida. I have 4 events in Florida, which I'm really looking forward to. And then we move up to Tennessee and Georgia and so on. And we keep going north as it goes later in the year. But
now the FLW Tour doesn't come through Lake County in 2019, right? The closest it comes here now is going to be in Lake Toho, Kissimmee?
That's correct. You know, and that's just, what, 45 minutes away. So
right.
I'm really looking forward to that, you know. And I think we'll get the tour again in 20.
Great.
And so I'm doing my homework again on this chain of lakes as
Sure.
the grass starts growing. I've had to relearn this chain. I mean, there was a time where I was pretty dominant on this lake for, you know, I say dominant, I could be beat, no doubt about it.
Right.
I kind of kept up with it. Now it's changed, so I'm looking forward to learning the new changes and stuff. And as you see here, you know, this is my brand new rig.
I was just looking at this. What a beautiful rig. And this is a Falcon?
This is a Falcon, yeah. It's a 2019 Falcon F215, and this is probably the best bass boat I'm not just saying that. It's the best riding bass boat I've ever been
Well,
in.
take me around a little bit. How long, what is it, about a 19 foot?
No, it's 21 foot
21,
5 inches.
okay.
Yes, sir. 21 foot 5 inches. You know, new to me this year. I'll go over the new things from last year. Like, I opted not to put carpet. I put sea deck material. It dries much faster. Carpeted decks, padded carpeted decks. But what I'm really excited about this year, and this is, I watch your step, this is an Evinrude, which
That is
I've always
awesome.
been a Mercury guy. But I joined Evinrude this year, and I couldn't be happier. It's so strong, so fuel efficient. It's the perfect tournament rig. I mean, I couldn't. If I fail this year, it's not because of my equipment, I can tell you that.
And your awesome blade power pole?
Power Pole, I've been with Power Pole since 2006. They're probably my longest standing sponsor, and probably, I think the reason for that is they treat us like a family. And,
right.
and we got Brian Watts here today from Power Pole. You know, I've known Brian and his brother Greg and all the staff at Power Pole for, well, since 06.
Right.
There's no turnover rate there. I mean, everybody's happy that stays at Power Pole. They outfit me with the blades. Of course, not only are they practical for what I do,
sure.
They look good, they match everything. It's just
it is a sharp looking rig.
It is an amazing boat. I'm really, really blessed and proud to have it.
Now I got to ask you, that motor is awesome. How fast is that going to get you back to the weigh-in?
That boat, if me and you are in it, we'll run 72. I've had it to 75.9 by myself, which for a 2,000-pound boat and a big boat, that's moving. It's hauling the mail, but it is one comfortable ride.
Right.
I can't say enough about Falcon boats. This is my 2nd year with them. You know, again, like a family. It's a family-owned, operated business. You know, I think they're in their 4th year now.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to get on at a young age with them as far as, you know, the age of their company. I hope to never be in another one. I want to be in Falcons the rest of my career for sure.
It's definitely a sharp looking rig you have here.
And you know, again, Eagle Buick GMC in Homosassa. That's my brand. That's my tow vehicle. They helped me out with that, and I think next year we're going to go into a diesel. I'll run this one more year. I can't say enough about those guys. Man, there's something to be said about this country with family-run businesses, and they treat people like family, even though they really didn't know me from Adam when I first started presenting my case. But I guess we got a good rapport. They see you know, they know what I got in mind, what I'm trying to do with my life, and they appreciate it, and they support me. So
absolutely, you know, and you're so right. You know, the businesses like Brookers Bait and Tackle, Homosassa, the dealership over there, and then all of your sponsors here.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, you're a great ambassador to the sport. I think it's really easy for businesses to really wrap their arms around you and support you. And I know just like our community does, they love you. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what do you think the quality of the Harris chain of lakes are right now? I know they've done a lot of work, the restoration of it, and wanted to get your opinion on it.
They've done a lot of work. Actually, they've been letting hydrilla grow in this chain for, I guess this is the 3rd year now, where before they kept it sprayed down. What that does, and a lot of people, residents included, they don't realize what that does for our fisheries. When you have that kind of grass out there, the mortality rate of a young fish is way down, because they got places they can hide and actually survive and not be consumed by other fish. And so the quality of water, you know, they've been running water from the Claremont chain this year for about 6 months. So it kind of made Harris and the surrounding lakes a little darker in color, because the water in Claremont's tannic.
Right.
So people are freaking out because it's a little dirtier water now. Don't worry about it. It's good water. It will clean up in the wintertime as it gets cooler. All the molecules will kind of, basically, for lack of a better term, they just go to the bottom.
Okay. So
the water will clean up. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, I don't want people freaking out. The fishing is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, if you find that magic spot in that hydrilla, you don't even have to move your boat. It's really good, providing a lot of big bass. You know, they got the BASS team championship here this weekend.
Right.
This week, I think you're going to see a lot of good fish. And, you know, we had a pretty good cold front last week, and we're on a warming trend now. Them fish are going to chew. I think you're going to see a lot of big bags sprayed in. And that's going to show you the quality of our lakes. I mean, Lake counties, they're doing the right things.
We heard that often when the FLW Tour came through here in February, so that's great. Just wanted to get your opinion on it once again. Well, Tim, I know there's a lot of fans out there that are waiting to get an opportunity to speak with you, so thank you very much for your time and showing us your new rig, and then telling us a little bit about your 2018 season and your plans for the 2019, and we certainly will be following you in this upcoming year. Well, for the rest of our lives, that's for sure, because like I said, you're a great individual, a great ambassador to the sport, and you know, you're just a blessing to the Florida's Big Fish Show.
I appreciate that, guys. It does mean a lot to me, and I thank you guys for the work that you guys have done. And we're going to grow this together, and we're going to show everybody what Lake County has for our own natural resources. There's not a better place to grow up, and there's not a better place to fish. You see the community comes out.
Absolutely.
I mean, Brooker's been in business well, and this one for 8 years. I've been with him since day one. I used to order for him, you know, so this is special to me because you've heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a village to get someone fishing professionally too, and it all starts grassroots. He's been a major player in me becoming a pro. So I thank every one of them, and all these guys here sitting and eating and enjoying themselves. This is just good, you know. Camaraderie's good. Everybody's got the same thing on their minds: fishing and eating and talking lies. So I'm pretty good at that.
That's right. You know, the weather was a little sketchy here in the beginning, but the sun's starting to come out. The rain has stopped. People are starting to pour in now, and there is some great food out here till 1 p.m.
1 o'clock, and usually it'll go a little later than that, depending on how many people are here. But yeah, it's amazing. Vic over there, Victor does a good job. Everybody who caters this, Milton cooks. So these are all just community guys that
been here
have
forever.
The same love for the same, you know, for the outdoors. And, we appreciate that.
All right, thanks again, Tim.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Hey, welcome. This is Randy with Florida's Big Fish Show, and here we are at Brookers Bait and Tackle 8th anniversary party, I would say. We've got lots of local anglers here. Well, when you smell that barbecue, and you got french fries and beans and coleslaw, and then all you find folks around here with lots of bait and tackle, some of the latest and greatest rods and reels and lures, crankbaits. But anyway, we are here most importantly with Shaw Grigsby, Major League Fishing.
Yeah, it's so awesome that to have an opportunity for the anglers to take control of the sport, and that's what Major League has done. And so our new tour called the Bass Pro Tour starts up in January, and it'll be here in Florida. And we're not exactly sure yet, but we should know this next week, you know, when it's where we're going to. But starts up in Florida. You get all the pros down here from the Kevin Van Dams and all of them, and it'll be a lot of fun. And it's just intense because most tournament trails have always been by promoters. This is, you know, run by the anglers. And the other thing is that most tournaments have a limit so that you can catch like 5 fish, and then you have to start throwing them back and save your biggest 5.
Right.
Well, that means once you get your 5, you're like going, oh, thank goodness I got my 5, you know, and so you're relaxed. Major League, you can't relax. You have to keep going because number 6 counts, 7 counts, 8 counts. Every single bass you catch that's of legal size counts. So you don't want to miss one. So once you catch your 5, you're still like, oh my gosh, you know, and then you've got a rolling scoreboard, a lot like the golfers. They know when they come up to the green, they're getting ready to hit. They can see who's in the lead, how many strokes back. Do they have to really go for it, or can they just go ahead and putt out and just not worry about it? So with us, we have a rolling scoreboard, so everybody knows what everybody else is catching, and it's craziness, absolutely. So it's very intense fishing.
Well, you're a member of the Hall of Fame too, as well.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Bass Fishing Hall of Fame, Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame, Legends of the Outdoors Hall of Fame. Anyway,
how long have you been fishing?
Long time. I professionally 34 years, so I'm an old guy, and it's been a blessing. I mean, anytime you make a living doing something that you truly love to do, you cannot say anything but
Amen.
the greatest blessing in life. So, well, the greatest blessing is Jesus Christ, but the greatest blessing to be living is to make your living.
He gave you that blessing, there's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of people would say that you have the best office in town, I would say.
I do.
Yeah, with the best view. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
I wake up, you know, I hate getting up in the morning. How I ever got into fishing and have to get up at 3 in the morning, I don't know. But, you know, once you get out there, and you start watching the sunrise and everything come to life, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're just, in awe.
Now sitting back and looking at, you know, oh man, he's a fisherman, professional angler, what a great job that is. I would love to be able to go out and go fishing all the time. But there's a lot of work to this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then plus, you know, you're trying to figure out how to pay your bills, and it's all dependent on the amount of fish that you catch. It can be a little bit stressful, but there's a lot of research that goes on. There is a lot of work that goes on behind the camera, I guess, if you will, for you to have great success. And then even then, it's probably a degree of luck in there too.
You know, fortunately, as we've developed this major league fishing, you're kind of eliminating the luck aspects. When you have a small limit, like a 5 fish, when I started fishing, they had 15 fish limits in tournaments, then they went to 10, then they went to 7, and then they went to 5. And they've actually had a couple tournaments where you have 3. So what that means is you're taking the total weight, so every time you reduce that number of fish, that means it's easier. If you happen to get lucky and catch a big one, you're going to probably win or be really good high up there. So with Major League, it's taking that out. So in the sense of the luck factor, Major League's pretty much eliminated because you got to catch them. You got to catch not just the first one, the second one, the third one. You got to keep catching them, and that's the only way to stay in the game. So that's really cool about that. But I can tell you, there's a lot of work behind the scenes that you don't see. You know, just tournament-wise is, you know, all the study that we do, the map study, you know, studying about how the fisheries work and all that, and keeping up with new techniques. But that's just part of it. I mean, you're away from home, you're doing in-stores, you're at tackle shows, you're at boat shows during the springtime. You know, I'll fly up to Indianapolis and do one, I'll fly over into Virginia and do one, so I'm all over. I was just talking to Mark, he'll be up in Buffalo doing one, Mark Menendez. So the pros, as a pro, you have to take care of your sponsors, which means you're working a lot. Sure. So when we finally do get on the water, we're like, yes, I'm on the water.
Finally.
We get to go fishing.
Right,
so,
right. Very good. Well, and you're local. You're Gainesville, right? We were just talking about you up there with Go Gators, Tom Petty land. Yeah. Yeah, well, they call that Gatorville, right?
That's it.
That's it. Well, hey, thank you very much, all. Great speaking with you, and good luck coming up on this 2019 tour.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, here we are at Brooker's Bait and Tackle, 8th anniversary, I'd say a party. Today, we got lots of anglers down here, and today we have Cliff Prince, Bass Master Elite Series. Yes, sir. You're one of the top dogs here.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm one of the top dogs.
I'll say it for you.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've been fishing that series for this will be my 8th year, and we're starting in my home water on the St. Johns River, so I'm really looking forward to this year getting started. We're going to be there the first full week in February. You guys come and check it out. Y'all can come watch me win my first Bass Master.
We'll be there. All right. No, oh yeah. So you're from Palatka,
yep,
right? Is that where you live as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
All right. And so your tour is going to start on the St. Johns River?
Yes, it is. My home water. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now, where do you travel at after that?
Well, we'll go up to Atlanta up there and then we've got a couple in South Carolina. We go all the way up to New York. So I'm looking forward to the first one. And I'm ready to get this year started because there's been a lot of changes in the bass industry as a whole. And I'm just ready to start fishing.
Who are some of your sponsors?
My title sponsor is Kubota with Futch's Depot. They're a local tractor dealership.
Okay.
And Fitzgerald Rods, of course. They're my two local sponsors. That Bass Assassin also. They're my soft plastic sponsor, and they've really helped me out. As being a local guy like I am, I like dealing with all these guys because they're right here. I've been friends with them all my life.
How long have you been fishing, Cliff?
Shoot, I've been fishing professionally on the Elite Series for 8 years, but I was fishing the Open for 4 before I qualified for that. So I've been traveling for close to 12 years now.
What would you say, anybody that's watching this, especially kids that are going to be watching this, and they, you know what, that looks great. I would love to be a professional fisherman. They love going out fishing. And one of the great things about fishing, we talk about this regularly, is that it's a great family sport. You'll see fathers and sons, and moms and sons, moms and daughters out there on the boat fishing all together. What would you say to somebody young that's up and coming, that wants to be a professional angler? What would be some of your advice to them?
Well, as we all know, the high school and the college tours have really exploded over the last few years. Whenever I was coming up, that wasn't really available necessarily. So my suggestion is go to high school, compete in high school level events, fish local events, go to college, get you an education, learn how to promote yourself, and get an education for number one. Put fishing second until you get a good education and know how to make it work. And once that all happens and you put it all together, then go after it. And do not give up on your dreams because it can happen.
Absolutely, and you're living it right here, aren't you? As well as many others are. And great advice. What did you do before fishing, if I can ask?
Well, I actually punched a clock there in Palatka at a local paper mill there. And did that for 12 years. Hated every minute of it, but I did it just because I knew one of these days that I was going to make it happen.
It helped provide the motivation.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, hey, thanks very much for your time, Cliff. It was a pleasure meeting you, and good luck with that series coming up next year. And we'll be on the St. Johns River with you, rooting for you.
Awesome. Look forward to it.
Thank you. All right, hey, we're here at Brooker's Bait and Tackle 8th anniversary special. Hey, this here is Randy with Florida's Big Fish Show, and with me today is Nate Thomas, one of our professional anglers here at the party today down here in Leesburg. Welcome, Nate.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you fished the Costa and the BFL, right? So what's coming up for you 2019?
2019, we're going to start off in January down in Okeechobee with the BFL. I believe it's on the 16th, followed by, I'm actually going to fish the Ram Open Series down there on the 23rd, and then we have the Costa at the end of the month. So January is going to be all fishing.
Awesome. How wonderful is that?
Oh, it's wonderful.
It might be a little cool, but that's and that's one thing I hear frequently throughout our interviews. Is everything's a blessing, because it absolutely is. You know, you get to do something that you love doing. Exactly. Most people would say, man, you got the best office in town, I think, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you got another great office over there in Sumter County as well.
Yes, Nathan Thomas State Farm Insurance in Wildwood.
There you go, good plug. Now, who are some of your sponsors?
Right now, Paul Davis Restorations is my key sponsor.
Okay.
They're my corporate sponsor, as you call it, and they've been paying the bills the last couple of years. They've been really good to me. So that is my main sponsor. Then my pro staff deals are with Ranger, Yamaha, Power Pole, Shimano, Guild Clothing, different things like that.
How long have you been fishing, Nate, professionally?
Professionally, 4 years.
Okay. Now, what do you find most challenging moving from perhaps the amateur series into the professional level, professional ranks?
Just the dedication to time, especially when you have small kids. I have a 13, 11, and 8-year-old. So trying to balance that family life and the fishing life, and not feeling guilty when you're on the road. You know, you want to be with your kids. They've got games, but you've got commitments for your sponsors. So that's the hardest part. The fishing's the easy part.
Do they ever get an opportunity to come watch Dad fish?
Very seldom.
Yeah.
Very seldom.
All right. Now, how old are your boys again? Or your
I've
children?
got a 13-year-old girl, 11-year-old girl, and 8-year-old boy.
All right. Very good. Well, congratulations on that. Now, wrapping up 2018, what did you do this year?
This year, I actually had a good year. I fished all 5 BFL events on Okeechobee. Ended up 10th. in the points, so had a good year there.
Congratulations.
Fished Costa, didn't go so well. You know, a couple of those places, Santee Cooper, had some opportunities there, didn't take advantage of, but I've never been to those places. You know, this is when you're trying to get to that next level. So we're going back to Santee Cooper next year. It'll be my second time there. So.
Now, any of your girls or your little boy have any interest in becoming professional anglers?
Not at all. Right now, soccer players, gymnasts, and softball.
Soccer, wonderful. So you don't have any hockey players in there, huh?
No hockey players.
All right, very good. Well, we have one behind the camera. I just had to get that dig in a little bit. Well, Nate, it was great meeting you here and seeing you again. It's been about 14 years since I've seen you.
It's been a long time.
But man, welcome and good luck down there in Lake Okeechobee.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right, Florida's Big Fish Show here at Brooker's Bait and Tackle. 8th anniversary special event. Today we have a very special guest. There's a lot of professional anglers here today, of course. But today we have Mark Menendez. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here at Brookers. This is an annual event. I come down every year. Bill and Natalie are great friends, so I'm just glad to be here in the warmer weather.
It is warmer today.
Yeah,
now, a couple of days ago, but that's the beauty of Florida. You know, just hang on 15 minutes and the weather will change, right?
Exactly. It's been really cold in Kentucky where I'm from, so to get down here where it's a little warmer is nice.
Now, what part of Kentucky are you from?
I'm from the Kentucky Lake area.
Okay, very good. All right. How long have you been fishing?
This will be the beginning of my 27th year on the Bassmaster Tour, so I've been around a while. I'm one of the dinosaurs now.
How was your 2018 season?
It was up and down. I had a couple of great top 12s, a couple of opportunities to win, and then it was just a rough go after those two particular tournaments. So sometimes you have those events where you're in the game, you're right there ready to win, and then you have those that you just really never get a clue on how to manage your week. And I had a tough year after that.
What about 2019? What's coming up for that?
Well, 2019, I'm real excited about the Bassmaster Elite Series Tour. We've only got 75 guys in there, so the lakes are going to fish a little bigger than what we're used to. We've got a great schedule. Payout's great. I'm guaranteed money at every tournament that I go to this year. I've got money coming back, so that's new. So it takes a lot of the risk out of it. We've got great new products from Strike King. Here's one of the baits that I found here in Florida. Has been really great. This is the 7-inch cutter worm. This worm is a great flipping worm. It's a fantastic worm to cast, retrieve really slow, or fish it at almost like a spinnerbait with that cutter tail on it. It flaps. I catch a lot of big fish. And this is the moon juice color. This is a new color for us this year, and it's a fantastic color. All over, and particularly in the cleaner waters that you guys have here in Florida.
Gotcha. Right here at Brooker's Bait and Tackle, $6.89.
Well, it's a good buy.
That's a great deal, isn't it?
It's a big bait, it's a big profile, and it's going to catch those bigger Lake Griffin, Harris Chain Lake fish. Maybe you might even slide on down to Okeechobee and catch some big ones on it.
Just like Mr. Tim did.
Toho's in between. So it's a good Florida worm is what I'm trying to say.
It is, and that's why Brookers has it right here for sale.
Absolutely, they sure do.
Well, who are some of your sponsors? I see you got a beautiful shirt there. I don't know if you want to mention some of your sponsors.
Well, Strike King and Lou's have been mainstays for me for years. Strike King, Skeeter and Yamaha are my primary sponsors. A little company here called Die Safe. You see that? That is a dye containment system that I work with. Some friends of mine at home have. So you dye your lure, you put it in a particular part of the box that it comes in, dip your deal, and that way you can't spill any of your dyes. I do a lot of dyeing with my soft plastics, reds, orange, blues, chartreuses, even some blacks I'll dye sometimes. So that's a neat little thing that not a lot of people know about. But Garmin with Panoptics, looking out in front of my boat. Those two top finishes I had last year, those top 12s were because I was able to look in front of the boat with Panoptics. Were big things. And of course, Seagar Fishing Line, the best fishing line going. I've been with them for a long time too.
Well, very good. Well, hey, I don't want to keep you, but I certainly greatly appreciate a few moments of your time here. I know there's people here that are trying to either talk to you or get your autograph, or probably both.
Well, a little of both, and teaching and talking about different techniques. And that's the great thing about what I do, is getting to teach people about the great sport of fishing in the outdoors. And we're so fortunate now to have high school and college anglers work with my high school team at home, and we're getting kids in the outdoors. And if you can get a kid in the outdoors with a fishing rod or a shotgun with adult supervision, the only thing that kid's going to do is get his shoes muddy, and that's not going to hurt anybody, and they make great life decisions like that.
Now, Leesburg, our local high school, Leesburg High School, just started a bass fishing club.
That's great.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of the guys that are coming into the Elite Series this year are veterans of the high school and college program, so we're recruiting them on up into the pro ranks now from the high school and the college experiences that they've had.
We didn't even know that they were actually there were bass fishing clubs. There's a local lady here, Lori Chastain Humphrey, who started it. And you would think that this is Lake County, right here on the beautiful Harris chain of lakes, that there would be a bass fishing club somewhere at a high school, but there has not been. And so she started it, her and her kids, at Leesburg High School. And so it's absolutely wonderful. And they just had their first tournament here a couple weekends ago and did really great.
Well, that's great. And when they get into BASS with the high school and the college fishing, there's scholarship monies available.
Right.
Companies like Lou's actually will offer a high school team or a college team. They'll get their roster and they'll give them extreme discounts on product so that they can get rods and reels in the hands of all the kids. It really works well. Lou's is in the mix, Strike King's in the mix. Get these kids in the open. They're our next generation.
Absolutely.
You know, like I said, I'm one of the dinosaurs and I've done it forever, but I'm always trying to get someone to come into fishing.
Very good. Well, thanks again, Mark. Appreciate your time, sir. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. Tom Petty's local. You're local, right?
Yeah, he was right there. I used to watch him, and he played Mudcrutch was his band in Gainesville. We used to go to
yeah,
it.
yeah. I remember reading about that afterwards. I didn't know that before.
In fact, his bass player, I think it was a bass player, could have been his drummer. Anyway, went to the same high school, and he was in my sister's class or whatever. So
really?
yeah.
I'll be darned.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.